Blue Lock does not include any factors outside of football in its writing, but I think adding just one girl in Blue Lock would make it a whole lot better. Therefore, it could change the anime and make it more interesting. But I'm gonna explain why I think girls are not included, how that could change, and also how I would implement it in the story to make it better. And before things get rough, I know that we have one girl, but you understand she has no impact on the course of the story whatsoever. She's the secretary and she exists purely to fill in the quota. But simply adding another girl like Henri, Blue Lock still won't get that spice I'm talking about. But first, I want to discuss why Blue Lock does not have any women in it. And no, it's not because the author is sexist. It is purely because it's just boys playing a game, and they have goals to become the best strikers. When the anime was airing for the first time, I thought it's just gonna be all about Isagi being the main character, it's gonna be the life of him being the best guy and whatever. But as soon as we get deeper into the actual story, I see that it's not about that. I see that it's mainly the author trying to explain things in such a way where I didn't even think about. For example, luck is not just luck, it is coincidences stacked on each other, and exploring ego, using each other for their own personal gain is the main talking points. So the author limited himself a little bit with this because when the boys are training, it's just about that. There is nothing more, nothing less. Under 20 is the first time that we get interactions between fans, Blue Lock, and other teams. This is exactly where I got that idea of adding another girl. As soon as I saw Hyoma's sister, that sparked something in me, because it seems that Blue Lock is coming to a finish as a whole. That little apartment or that building they were stuck in, basically it's gonna be thrown away and they're gonna go into the real world. Now, just a little bit of spoilers that won't hurt you. The next chapter after the U20 game, the boys are on holidays. They're going outside of their training grounds and they have fun with each other. We can see that those players that Isagi wasn't that good with, Bachira just runs at them and they just make this big group and they just hang around in the arcade with Nagi and all of this cool stuff. Therefore, we have wholesome interactions between a lot of characters. Kaneshiro is amazing when it comes to introducing new characters. So here is where my idea blends in with the whole story. So since I did read a little bit of the manga, after that U20 game, we get this slice of life. And as I mentioned, Bachira is immediately merging with more familiar faces. But this is the key part in adding a girl to the series. Because if Bachira saw the same girl over and over cheering for the team, don't you think that he would approach her? He seems outgoing, he seems easily accessible and innocent. I think that would be the ideal time to add in that woman who could ruin multiple guys from Blue Lock. Therefore, I think she could have ulterior motives like distracting, leeching, just promoting herself through these guys, or just steal the spotlight. But not only that, a real situation which is very predictable is that one of the players, probably Isagi, becomes the top of the world, and something outside of football could and should bring him down. Because if he is the best, what could impact him if all of the players are already beat? We're missing the factors outside of football in Blue Lock. You haven't noticed it at all, but I think it could potentially be a good idea. Blue Lock is insane. It's hype, it's dope, it's fun to watch, but when was the last time we had a red card while reading or watching? Or when did a player get injured to the point where he could not play? Legit, I did not read all that deeply through the manga since I enjoy the anime, but mostly everything is fine in Blue Lock. And the worst thing that happens is Isagi loses, but he doesn't really lose, so I think that having a redemption arc after post-nut clarity would be fire. Therefore, when the time comes for one of these or more of these players to win the World Cup, I would like to be questioned if our top striker is going to appear because of the mental damage he suffered from either a girl or even an injury. I would like to wonder what's gonna happen with the story, because as things look right now, it's just introducing new characters, leveling up, introducing new characters, leveling up. Don't get me wrong, I like it, I love Blue Lock, but it could be better. So just please imagine a girl that would basically use these boys one by one like pawns to get to the top dog, which could either be Rin at this point or Isagi. There's eternal conflict in the team. Wouldn't that be a little bit spicier? We all love Baru just because he is the king, but wouldn't you love a character more for just, you know, having problems with his girlfriend and she's trying to, like, you know, convert his brain into something else? I would relate to that. I would like that. And there might be somebody still wondering why would this make sense? I mean, just look at all the football boys. Dude, there's so many articles written about cheating in football, all this drama and stuff like that. It's just a real world scenario, and I don't think that it should be the main plot, but it should add spice, because if it wouldn't be Hyoma's sister, it could honestly be any girl. I mean, we have the freedom to imagine whatever we want, and I don't think that this could be a bad thing, because there's gonna be a point when it's gonna get stale of winning over and over the same way. This part of the video is gonna be a little bit spoiler heavy, but it's just gonna prove my theory why this could amazingly work in the future. So after the U20 arc finishes, the boys are going to be intertwining with the U20 members. I mean the good ones, and they're going to be training in the same way. They also get assigned to teams specifically, like Barcelona. They have Bayern München and other teams like Juventus, Real Madrid, whatever. So all of them go into these other teams to basically get more knowledge and train specifically. So they all get fame and stuff like that, you know? This gives opportunity to Ego to see which players improve the most, and then he can form an actual team. Why do I think forming a team out of Blue Lock, out of all strikers, is a good thing? This is going to be a next video I'm going to make on the Blue Lock series as well, because I think that having every single person be the striker at the beginning will make them good midfielders, good defenders in the future as well. I'll show that later, but going back to the topic, seems the way that the story is going, Ego is not trying to form only the best striker. He's probably gonna be having the greatest team in all of Japan. Once again, those games between Real Madrid, Barcelona, Bastard München, whatever Juventus, whatever teams, there's gonna be spectators and people watching. This is the opportunity where I would wanna put a girl in. I'm not gonna spoil the manga too much because I don't know if he did or if he didn't, but I think sooner or later there's gonna be this team that's gonna form, and they're gonna conquer Japan and the world later on. Even then, you could still introduce that fangirl. Come on, please. To be fair, I didn't think of the downsides, but I don't think that there's too many. So with that out of the way, the next video is also gonna be about Blue Lock. So subscribe. Have a nice day.